In today's psukim, we read about the foiled plot of big son Viseresh, the two members of Achashverosh household staff who had attempted to assassinate him, only to have their plans discovered by Mordechai, then revealed to Esther, and passed along to Achashverosh. One question that a number of the commentaries ask is why Mordechai was so inclined to save Achashverosh's life. Again, certainly if we read Achashverosh as someone who was a wicked person and someone who essentially was forcing Esther into a life of sin, one would think that Mordechai would just walk the other way. Here, wherever he overheard big son Viseresh, let politics and history take its course and eliminate Achashverosh. And a number of commentaries grapple with this question. Reb Tzadok HaKohen of Lublin, in his Sefer Tzidkas HaTzadik, has a fascinating perspective on this. And he suggests that what Mordechai was motivated by here was to try to eliminate a character trait called Tsaras Ha'ayin. Tsaras Ha'ayin means a certain kind of narrowness, self-centeredness, self-focus, looking only for your own needs and your own concerns. Reb Tzadok suggests that this was a midah, this was a character trait that was very much in question during the time of the Persian exile. And again, perhaps the hedonism that we saw in the beginning of the Megillah is really a product of that, of looking at a certain, almost like an acquisitiveness, a need to take care of yourself, to be motivated by your own needs. Mordechai was concerned that if he were in fact to essentially be a bystanding participant in the assassination of Achashverosh, that this would be deemed to be motivated by his own narrow personal needs, that he had his own personal grudges against Achashverosh because of what he did to Esther, especially, again, according to the Medrash, that Esther had been married to Mordechai, that Mordechai had his personal issues that he was trying to resolve through Achashverosh. And that Reb Tzadok felt that explains that Mordechai was so concerned about this possibility that really, essentially, he said, I would rather be involved in this and save Achashverosh's life rather than cultivate this sense that I'm doing things for my own personal needs. And he says that when the Gemara says that the function of this story of Big Son and Saresh is to provide the trufa lamaka, the antidote before the disease. In other words, that within this story, on a simple level, right, the fact that Mordechai saved the king is what later will pop up in the 6th chapter to be the reason why Achashverosh rewards Mordechai as Haman parade him around the city, which really serves as the pivot of the Megillah. Reb Tzadok says that there is a spiritual meaning to this as well. That it was in the merit of Mordechai working on this trait, right, and doing something which, again, one could make a case that really it would be a positive thing to have been involved in the elimination of Achashverosh. But that Mordechai was so concerned about the need to repair this character flaw that he said, I want to show by this act of good faith, of saying that even though perhaps my narrow interest would be served by the death of Achashverosh, that I'm going to go and save his life in order to show that he didn't have this trait of tsaras ayin, of narrow vision, but that instead had a breadth of spirit. Reb Tzadok adds that this is built into the mitzvos of Purim, that part of our celebration of Purim is giving shalach manos, of giving gifts to other people, telling us that, again, our celebration of Purim is incomplete if it is only a narrow act that serves ourselves. Right? That's the world of Achashverosh. A real Purim involves an ayin rechava, a wide lens, gestures of inclusion that bring the community together as well.